The atmosphere in Barcelona was electric with excitement on that humid summer night, as the city's heartbeat seemed to synchronize with the thousands of fans gathered outside the Palau Sant Jordi. The streets were packed with a colorful mix of Kendrick Lamar and SZA supporters, extending well beyond the illuminated stadium. They overflowed onto the sidewalks, their voices creating a collective buzz filled with chants, laughter, and the occasional freestyle cutting through the noise. This was more than just a concert. It felt like a pilgrimage. The energy was raw and unfiltered, as if the city had been holding its breath in anticipation of Kendrick taking the stage. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. Inside a sleek black GNX parked just beyond the barriers, Kendrick Lamar sat quietly, his figure barely discernible through the tinted windows. The bass from the pre-show music thumped softly in the car, a distant reminder of the excitement outside. He adjusted his cap, tilting it slightly, his fingers tracing the brim as he inhaled deeply. His team was bustling around him, but Kendrick's attention was focused elsewhere, on the crowd, the weight of their expectations, and the history he was about to create in this city. Barcelona was not just another tour stop, it was significant. When the doors of the GNX opened, the roar of the crowd hit him like a wave. Thousands of voices erupted as Kendrick stepped out, his black hoodie and fitted jeans blending into the night, yet his presence was unmistakable. Fans surged against the barriers, phones raised like lights, capturing every moment of his arrival. Kendrick! Kendrick! The chant began quietly, a spark igniting in the crowd, then quickly spread like wildfire. He raised a hand in acknowledgement, nodding as he scanned the faces, some tear-streaked, others singing lyrics from albums that had defined their lives. He took his time, allowing the moment to unfold and the crowd's energy to envelop him. Security forged a path through the throng, but the fans were relentless, reaching out with their hands, their voices merging into a melody that felt almost sacred. As Kendrick neared the stadium entrance, the crowd began chanting something that wasn't his music, but a beloved local soccer chant. Ole, ole, ole. It was a tribute to their city's pride, a blend of cultures that sent shivers down the spine of everyone present. Kendrick paused, turning to face them, a smile spreading across his face. He raised both hands, palms up, as if to say, I hear you. The crowd erupted even louder, the chant transforming into a fusion of soccer tradition and hip-hop admiration. Inside the Palau Sant Jordi, the energy was palpable. As the lights dimmed, the opening notes of SCA's performance filled the venue, her voice enveloping the audience like a soft wave. She moved gracefully across the stage, her flow seamless and her presence captivating. The crowd swayed, sang, and immersed themselves in her music, but there was an underlying excitement. Everyone knew who would follow. SZA, always one to engage with her fans, leaned into the moment, playfully asking, Are you all ready for something special tonight? Her voice was laced with mischief, and the audience responded with thunderous enthusiasm. When Kendrick finally appeared on stage, the arena erupted. The beat of Humble hit like a bolt of lightning, and the crowd matched his energy, their voices resonating throughout the space. Kendrick was a powerhouse, his movements sharp and his delivery even sharper. He didn't merely perform, he took command. Every lyric felt like a dialogue, every pause a challenge for the audience to keep pace. Sit down! Be humble! He rapped, and the crowd echoed back, their hands slicing through the air in rhythm with him. As the set progressed, the atmosphere changed. The lights softened, and Kendrick slowed the tempo, stepping closer to the edge of the stage. I want the credit if I'm losing, or I'm winning, he said, his voice raw and momentarily unamplified, sharing a line that felt deeply personal. On my mama, that's the realest shit. The arena fell silent, hanging on his every word. It was more than just a lyric. It was a statement of his truth, his journey, and his commitment to authenticity. The crowd absorbed his words, some nodding, others quietly repeating the line to themselves as if it were a mantra they would carry beyond the night. Then came Peekaboo. The heavy, hypnotic beat dropped, and Kendrick seamlessly transitioned into AZ Chike's verse with a precision that felt sharp. His flow was relentless, each word cutting through the air, and the crowd matched his intensity. A group of fans near the front held up a handmade sign that read, Barcelona loves K. He noticed it, pointed in their direction, and the section erupted, their cheers momentarily drowning out the bass. It was a conversation, not just a performance. Kendrick drawing energy from the crowd, and the crowd feeding off his presence. The setlist took the audience on a journey through his music, with each song representing a chapter in a story that now included Barcelona. When Gloria played, Kendrick adjusted his fitted cap, a small but significant gesture that resonated deeply that night. The crowd reacted, their cheers intensifying as he delved into the song's reflective verses. Bathed in golden stage lights, he appeared less as a performer and more as a poet, his lyrics vividly depicting themes of struggle, victory, and redemption. The audience was captivated, their phones down and eyes fixed on him. As the performance approached its peak, Kendrick revitalized the energy with All Right. The arena transformed into a sea of raised fists and swaying bodies, the chorus serving as a collective declaration. We gon' be all right. Strangers embraced, tears flowed, and for those brief moments, the outside world ceased to exist. It was just Kendrick, the music, and the thousands of people connected by it. When the final note faded, the crowd erupted into chants of his name. Kendrick. 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 A rhythmic wave that felt endless. He stood at the center of the stage, absorbing the moment, his chest rising and falling as he regained his breath. Then he bowed, and the standing ovation reverberated throughout the arena. Although the show had concluded, the night was still alive. Outside, Barcelona's streets buzzed with the concert's afterglow. Fans streamed out of the venue, their voices carrying the energy of the performance into the night. A group gathered near the entrance, singing Not Like Us in harmony, their voices echoing off the concrete. The catchy melody drew in more fans, creating an impromptu choir that felt like half the city was joining in. Suddenly, a saxophone burst into sound from somewhere in the crowd. A street musician, caught up in the excitement, added his notes to the lyrics, paying homage to the city's spirit. He played Luther, a nod to Kendrick's influences, and the crowd erupted in applause and dance as the music carried them into the early hours. The celebration overflowed into the bars and cafes along the streets, where fans exchanged stories from the night. A young woman, wearing a Kendrick t-shirt, shared how she had come all the way from Madrid just for the concert, her voice hoarse from cheering. A local couple discussed their favorite moments. She loved the raw emotion of Gloria, while he was captivated by the intensity of Peekaboo. Strangers formed friendships, united by the extraordinary experience they had shared. Even the bartenders, accustomed to the constant influx of tourists, couldn't help but smile at the contagious happiness in the air. Backstage, Kendrick was more subdued, sitting with his team as the excitement began to wane. He browsed through his phone, watching videos that fans had already uploaded, clips of a soccer chant, the standing ovation, and the saxophonist outside. He chuckled softly, shaking his head. Barcelona has heart, he remarked to no one in particular. His manager nodded in agreement, but Kendrick's thoughts were already drifting, replaying the night, the audience, the connection he felt. He had performed in cities around the globe, but this one felt unique. It was more than just the music. It was about the stories, the people, and how they embraced him as one of their own. The following morning, Barcelona awoke still buzzing with excitement. Social media was filled with posts about the concert, fans sharing blurry photos and heartfelt messages. Kendrick made me feel seen, one person wrote. Last night was like church, another said. Local news outlets covered the event, calling it one of the most thrilling shows the city had ever experienced. The saxophonist gained a bit of fame, with his performance outside the venue garnering thousands of views online. Even the city soccer fans, typically devoted to their sport, acknowledged Kendrick's ability to energize a crowd with the same fervor as a winning goal at Camp Nou. For Kendrick, the night in Barcelona served as a reminder of his purpose. It wasn't about fame or money, but about those moments when his words created a connection with countless strangers who resonated with his truth. He had poured out his heart, pain, and triumphs, and they had returned it tenfold. As his plane departed the next day, he gazed out over the city, its spires and rooftops receding into the distance. He didn't know when he would return, but he was certain that Barcelona would always remember him, just as he would remember them. The fans also took the night with them. For some, it became a cherished memory to cling to during difficult times, a reminder of their shared experiences. For others, it ignited a passion, motivating them to pursue their own dreams with the same boldness that Kendrick displayed on stage. The city itself felt transformed, as if the music had left a mark on its streets, its inhabitants, and the very atmosphere. Barcelona had expressed itself, and its message was one of love, strength, and unrestrained joy. This celebration was more than just a fleeting moment. It was a movement that would resonate long after the last note had disappeared. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.